Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Josh Gets Lost and our survival series. Still thinking of a name now that we're kind of moving a little bit away from the 30 minutes a day format. But we are back here at our base and we got our cat hanging out, chilling right here. So that is pretty exciting. And I'm excited because today, my friends, is, well, it's house day. We're going to build a house. Yeah, I am super excited about that. But first, let me recap just a little bit of how Kitty got here. And yeah, while we're out to pick up the cat, we're going to be getting some sand from the desert. So we make our first diamond shovel. We get in a little bit of an enchant there to make it last a little longer. Just something basic before we head out. We're going to head out that way past the warm biomes, the beautiful coral reef there. And find the savanna village where Kitty is hanging out. Then I get Kitty. We're going to take her over and get her into the boat just simply by dragging her in the hip boxes of the boat, and she will enter in and be ready to ride with us. While we're out here, we're going to head out this way and explore a little bit. Looks like we got some azalea trees marking a lush cave. And then we jumped into a little out of the way part of the desert to mine several stacks of sand. And of course, some of our favorite annoying friends showed up, and we tried to ignore them as best as we could. While out here, I also spotted a desert village that we'll return to later, some beautiful badlands, and journeyed home. Oh, I saw a trader. Let's get that cat out of the boat. Let's take it over here, and it looks like our annoying friends have found us here at home as well. This is fine. Everything's fine here. Nothing to see, guys. Just keep walking. Keep walking. Yeah. That face pretty much sums it up. All right. I think they're over enough. Let's sneak along the coast here. Over towards our house. And finally, our cat has come home. All right. We are back at the base, and Kitty is here ready to go. We are going to start working on our house. Before we start, there's something I've needed to make for quite a while. And since you guys have not been with me, I can't believe you guys. You're so terrible for not joining me 24/7. I haven't been able to do this because I always like to do first things on camera for this series, just even as we move away from the more structured 30 minutes thing, and there's more in-between session time. I want to keep doing new things on here so that people who follow along and are maybe learning about Minecraft will be able to follow that. And this something that I want to make is a basic smelting setup that is a good thing. It's not a full-blown super smelter, as some people might call it, but it is very useful, especially in these early stages of the game. For example, we've got our lava farm going right over here very well. But lava farm actually will burn up to 100 items. But often, as you know, when we cook stuff, maybe we have 26 cobblestone we want to cook to turn into regular stone. And yes, if you don't have silk touch, this is how you get regular stone. You just cook the cobblestone that you've collected and put it in there. But say we wanted to also cook some sand, which I collected while I was out, and turn that into glass, or maybe we wanted to now turn some of the stone into smooth stone by cooking it. Maybe throw in some beef that I've gotten from culling our cow herd over there. Whatever the case may be, when you get multiple items, you'd want maybe a lot of them to be able to cook. Maybe multiple stacks of an item to cook from this same lava. After all, I can do up to 100 items. And so the way to set that up is fairly simple. But first, we're going to need 4 chests. All right, and we're going to turn 2 of these chests into hoppers. And a hopper is basically a chest with an auto movement function on it. It's kind of hard to describe exactly what that means, but when you see it here in practice, it will totally make sense. So now we've got, using our iron and our chest there, we've got 2 hoppers, and we've got 2 chests. And we've got our furnace, which I'm actually just going to make a new one because I don't feel like messing with this one. Actually, there we go. Boom. All right, we're going to want to move this a little just to make this a little easier on ourselves. All right, so the simplest way to think of this is as follows. Let me get all of our main things right here. Where's that furnace? There we go. We'll want to, let's go ahead and maybe set this up right over here by our lava. Seems like the most logical place to put it. We're going to put the furnace right there. Now this is important because basically a furnace has two different inputs. The first input, and I actually need to make a third hopper now that I do the math here, is if you shift and right click the top of this, wherever you shift click a hopper into, whether that's into a chest or into a furnace, and there's several other different things you could put a hopper into, it will then pull items from this into this furnace. So right now there's nothing in here. If I was to drop these cobblestone, they are now part of the furnace. And the top one is the item to be smelt. But hoppers also, or furnaces also have a side or back, depending on which way you want to do it, ability as well. And when we put something in this, let's say, let's pretend we try to put cobblestone. It's not going to pull it in because cobblestone is not something that you can cook with. But for example, a stick is something you can cook with, and you will see it tries to cook the stick. A stick is not enough to cook that cobblestone, so it will fail and just use it up. But that will be for our fuel source. So then what we will do is we will simply shift click on top of each of these to put a chest on top, and you'll see why here in just a second. That was a fail. Should have been a little higher. I'm going to jump and then shift click, which is not the easiest thing in the world to do. Stupid shield. All right. I've given up. Going to use dirt. There we go. All right, so now we can fill this up with whatever we want cooked. We'll fill this up with a fuel source. So for example, our buckets of lava, we can just begin putting in there. And they will cook whenever there is something in there to be smelted. But now we have to get a third one because this all has to go somewhere. Say, for example, we cooked a bunch of cobblestone and they turned into stone over here. If we then cooked raw beef, they would not be able to cook because they have nowhere to go. The stone would be in the way there. So let's get another hopper and chest made, and we will see this in action. All right, we need two more chests. There we go. Let's get that hopper. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. And this one will do a little easier. We want the hopper to actually go into the chest and just be physically underneath of this furnace. So we will put the chest there first and then put the hopper. You can see the little nozzle, so to speak, goes into the chest. And so now if we were able to put, say, this cobblestone in here, let's in fact put 8 of these. In fact, let's do this all in the way that it's meant to be done. Let's put our 8 cobblestone in our input chest. Let's put our coal in our fuel chest. Now they will begin cooking. It went automatically in there. You can see it cooking. And then once it's done, we should see it appear in this chest as they cook off. So there we go. And now this will help us a lot because I want to turn some of this into glass, and I don't want to use coal for that. I want to start using my coal more for torches, and so we're going to get a bucket or two. In fact, let's make a couple new buckets. We want to keep our 2 that I usually keep on hand. Don't really need the milk, but might as well keep it for when those stupid pillagers come by if I actually end up having to fight them. Let's just do 2 of these buckets for now. Actually, let's do 3. I'm trying not to get too crazy about using my iron because not only are we still using some iron armor and iron tools a little bit, even though we're starting to gear up a bit with diamonds, we will. So you can see here, they're waiting to go in. This is now waiting there to cook once that coal runs out. So let's go ahead and put that sand in there. Let's grab this raw beef that I have. And let's grab a little bit more of the sand as well. It won't cook all of this, but it will cook some of it. So let's go ahead and get this in there. Get that. We got that, and we're starting. And the buckets will output there from the lava, so you can use them to fill again. And now it's time to sleep. I mostly did all that because for our house, where are we at? I only have a little bit of glass, so I wanted to make sure I had some more glass. All right. Let's begin setting up building this house. And specifically, let's begin laying the footprint for the house and where it will be in the world. So I'm going to be mostly making this out of cherry planks, and I'm going to begin using some of those and some of these spruce logs to kind of mark our areas, and we'll begin looking at it that way. All right, where is my water bucket? So our original world spawn is 0, 0. And it is actually right over here. So this is where we would spawn into if we died and did not have a bed set. Or there's some later interdimensional travel that will send you back to this point as well if you don't have a bed set. That's over here. So I don't really want to do a ton with this right now. But I do want to have a nice home right here. And I'm especially thinking of this as I approach from the water. I have something that I would like to see on my approach. And so looking right here, looks like we've got a little bit of space cleared out right here, and we can even begin to take out a little bit more of this dirt here to get our house a little bit more ready to go and make this ground a little more even in this area. Let's pour our water to get rid of the grass. You do want to be careful not to get rid of all of our plants over there. Water will knock out your torches, so that is something to be aware of because you don't necessarily want to have a lot of torches in the way and causing trouble for you, losing your torches, and then it spawns night and monsters spawn. So just something to be aware of there. There we go. Get a little more room here. All right. And I have done a little bit of thinking about what I want this house to look like, but not a ton. And so this will be definitely kind of on the fly. And there's two real ways to approach building a house. One is you know what style you want to make for your world. Maybe you want to build a world that has a theme, say a medieval theme, or say a futuristic sci-fi cyberpunk theme, whatever the case may be. Get dark and rainy. Do you not want me to build my house? We'll see if it stays this dark. I may have to sleep here and move on. Let's see, is this a thunderstorm or nope? Just a regular rain. I do want to. There we go. Fill that in. Man, it got really dark. But as you think about your world, what you want it to look like, you will then want to build a house or a building that matches that style. So that is one way to make a house. The other way is just to begin messing with shapes and begin messing with different block patterns. Those are commonly referred to as palettes. So for example here, maybe we have some spruce. Maybe we're going to probably use a lot of the planks just to make these last more. We have our cherry planks there. Maybe we use a little bit of the cherry logs for certain things that have a little darker texture, can give a nice variation. And then maybe we also use our deep slate, but specifically we are going to be wanting to use not a polished form, but we're going to be wanting to use the brick form for this house, because you can see there, it's a very pretty thing. And that I'm specifically thinking is going to be for the roof. So there's kind of our palette. We may work some other things in, maybe throwing in some spruce around some of the features or something. But I think that will be a bit of what we are doing with this house. And so this palette will help determine what we are going to be doing with our house. And I hate that I have some decent diamond tools in here, but I'm not using them because I'm wanting to save them mostly for mining or battling or things like that until we get a little bit more of a good enchantment setup to be able to make those things last a little longer. All right, so we got a little bit of space here for our house. In fact, I'm going to want to push this one more over. As I was saying, I'm going to be using the spruce, I think, mostly for the floors and for the foundation of the house. Sort of thinking in this house, I'm kind of starting to imagine this world and thinking about what I want to might build here, what I might want to build here in the future. And I'm sort of thinking something like kind of a 1920s, early 20th century kind of West Coast, maybe San Francisco type look with different types of small houses and buildings and maybe some bridges and other structures as well. Maybe we'll get into some blimps and other stuff, planes and boats and things in the future that fit that era. But that's kind of what I'm thinking. And so this house is going to be kind of a simple house with a lower part. It's going to have 2 floors. And I'm hoping it'll have a front porch, maybe have a nice second story with some smaller rooms up top. But I'm going to leave kind of a little, raise it slightly. The main floor will be slightly raised off the ground and that'll be kind of a distinguishing feature for it. So sometimes I count these, sometimes I don't. But let's say right here, I want to do, say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do 7 this way. Let's go. That'll be kind of the main floor of the house there. And then maybe, actually, let's go 2 more. I want to build a little bigger so I have some room inside to work with. Let's say up here would be where the porch goes to. And this will help me get going. All right, let's go over here. Maybe about here marks the end of the porch. Let's say that. I think I like this one better. You can see this is a process. It is trial and error. I'm not importing this from a creative world. I'm literally just working from where we are right now and beginning to place the main features of this world. Now in the back, I want the house overall to be kind of square. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So let's go maybe 12 across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And just because I want to make it a little wider, let's say I go 13 here, if I did that right. Yep, I definitely can't count. That's for sure. Is it nighttime yet? This rain always throws off my sense of night, and I don't want to be fighting monsters. I want to build my house. So there we go. We're going 13 across right there. We're actually going to, let's go ahead and just mark where these 2 cross over here. But I'm thinking this way, we get a little kind of sort of alcove type thing going on here. Maybe like that. We're not going to keep logs for all of these, but this is just helping me get a sense of where the main features of the house might be. All right, so I think we've got it there. All right, let's begin crafting some of these blocks. Hopefully I'll fit in asleep, and then we will get going. All right, we have slept. There we go. It looks like the rain is beginning to disappear. I want to make a bunch of slabs because slabs from the wood will double the amount of wood that we can use. And as we're going to be using it for the floor of the house, that'll sort of give the appearance from the outside of there being a crawl space going on under here. And so if we do this like this on the top slabs, that will kind of connect these foundational parts of the house. There we go. We'll probably end up coming in maybe with some stairs or something around some of these things to fine tune it here. But let's get a floor going. And since I don't have great tools, I did use a little bit of my experience points to redo our my tools there and get them repaired. So that's an important thing to keep track of. We're gonna need a lot of these because there's not only the first floor but also the second. So some people will literally do the math for every single part that they need. They would have multiplied the area out here. If that's you, go for it. It can save you time and resources. Me, I'm more of a make things as I go. I always figure, especially when we're talking about something like slabs of wood, there's always something I can use them for in the future, whether it be using them for other building projects, using them for making things like composters. There's always something you can use these different materials for. So, don't be scared, especially things that are easy to get. You don't necessarily have to measure them multiple times. It can be helpful, but it's not necessary. Let's go ahead and switch these two out and go ahead and do the logs there. I can use my pick block there. That'll give a nice frame of this. I don't love this corner, but I'll mess with the detailing later of it. I feel like maybe I'll bring it out a little more. But for now, there we go. And there we got our beginning of our house. So where we have these are going to be kind of very important touch points for our house. And so we'll want to use probably the logs here to kind of set apart these foundational, sort of the beams of the house. They will be load bearing. I don't want to go too high here. Let's just do 4 for now. We are going to have a second floor. A general rule is to make all your inside structures at least 3 tall. Probably for the first floor of this house, I'm thinking 3 tall. This one will actually be where we put the second floor, and what we'll do there is actually probably put a slab up there, so then we kind of get 3.5 blocks of space. If you do 2 tall, your house becomes very claustrophobic. You can't jump. You can only move around sideways. So at least 3 high for your indoor spaces is preferable. So we want that to go on. Let's do this again. Now, if you're wondering how I made it pink, that's actually pretty simple. If you have your axe and you right click on the logs, it will strip them and it will make them whatever color is underneath all around. And they do have a slightly different texture than just the planks do that are from that same log there. So we're going to get our foundational corners here. And then we're going to possibly add some more beams. There's some natural points. Basically, the way I try to think of it is if I was building a real house, I would have to pay someone to do it because I'm not really that handy in real life. But if I was building a real house, where are the spots where in a house you would need support? The door frames, as you're going to different parts of the house, different structures. If you have, another floor above you, you're going to need more support. There's lots of things like that are going to be important for making that happen. And so something to think about as you're building your world is what things are going to need that kind of support. Here, we're actually going to have a covering for the porch, but I think what we'll end up doing is making fences for that. They're a little smaller and look more like the kinds of supports that you would use for just an awning for a simple porch, and less of the beams that you would use for your house. So that's something to keep track of as well. Maybe here, what I might think of is, we could put one in the middle here, although I might end up wanting to build a fireplace. So if that's the case, then we may have to save the load-bearing spot back here for the fireplace. All right, so we've got our foundational structures. Let's begin putting in some other things. All right, so if this is the porch, we're going to want to have maybe some the outside wall. We're going to want to have this. And we want to think about where we want the door. Because, for example, now that I have a silk touch pickaxe, I can actually show you this. Where's my glass? And where's my silk touch pickaxe? All right. Let's go ahead and make us a cherry wood door. I'm not sure if I will stick with the cherry wood door. A lot of times you kind of want a door that's a different color from your house to be a little bit of an accent. But I'm thinking the door would go right here to make it actually go right here. I believe I'll want to put it on this side so there's a little bit of depth. You can see that. There we go. And I'm going to want to frame it in so that it is separate. So here I could put the window like this and those would work. The reason why you do want to make sure to frame your door in is doors will not connect to partial blocks like glass panes or walls for that matter very well. So you'll have this awkward like, hey, I can like reach into the house any time of day kind of thing going on here, which is not what we want. And if you see here, if you do the glass, you break glass with a silk touch, you will get that glass pane back. If for some reason we're going to waste one right here, it's going to hurt. If I was to break this with just my normal old pickaxe, it would disintegrate into nothing. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. There we go. In fact, I think what we're going to do out here is perhaps maybe use some more of the pink, but I'm going to add in a bigger window because I love natural light. So let's get some more of these cherry logs. And now you can see the log, if I put it sideways on a block, it will now be sideways. So let's go. Oops. You can tell this is live. We can do that and then we can strip it. All right, now we can tell maybe where the outline of this house is. And I do love the way the pink doors look, but I'm going to need a different color there just to make it stand out a bit. Problem is we only have a few types of wood right now. And orange, which is the acacia wood, is a nice color that would stand out, but it would not go with pink at all. So we may be just stuck with pink for the time being. So there we go. All right. You could try that out. You may go, I'm not sure if I like that. So just, tear it down and see. Does it look better all pink like this? I think it actually does. So we're going to save these for maybe the second floor. And there we go. Did I get all my drops? I want to make sure I'm doing a good job of not wasting our resources. All right. So that is the start of our house here. This is actually going to be a little something this way. And in fact, I think what I'm going to do here is put this one right there. And maybe even drop that back in. And now I have a little bit more space over here for this to stand out and a bit more natural separation there for that, for the doorway. So we'll eventually add stairs here and make it possible. And this will actually be part of the house as well. So let's add us a little bit of that. And if I shift here, work my way down. Now I'm falling a little bit. If you just fall a few blocks and you got decent shoes, it will protect you, but do know that it will hurt you over time. And there we go. I'm not loving this. All right, I want to actually probably make this bigger. Now you're quickly noticing I'm wanting to kind of do something curved at the front here. And curved is one of the hardest things to do in Minecraft because it's a square world. I mean, it is what it is. Oh, let's get this guy fixed. He's not in the right spot now. Where are you going to go, buddy? I guess you're going to go on the cartography table. Let's sleep. All right, so let me work on a few of these other sides, and I will be back here in a second. You know what? I forgot, since I found that spawner in the mine shaft and all those cobwebs around, I have string. Where's my string? Where is all that string I collected? 41. That'll do. And I have bamboo. So earlier in the series, I was talking about things you could do with bamboo. One of which is now, as of 1.20, you can actually craft these into bamboo blocks, which is really cool. But one of the things you've been able to use bamboo for a while is scaffolding. Looks like our crops are ready to harvest, but I'm in build mode. I don't have time to harvest crops. So scaffolding is really cool. And basically it lets you climb to different parts, like, scaffolding, just by going in and pushing shift. You can actually use it as kind of a in lieu of ladders. It's a way to rise up and down, maybe in a tunnel or something if you wanted. But unlike, say, dirt or something that you use to scaffold, one of the tricks with it is you can just break the bottom one and it will all fall down, which makes it a little easier to clean up than using other blocks to scaffold, and you don't use your tool durability. It also, you can get up here and you can go sideways with it from different heights, which can also be very convenient. Looks like, though, it is time to sleep. We have not yet found any name tags in this world, so we haven't been able to name any of our creatures, but I do thank you guys for suggesting names for those. All right, now one thing you may want to do while you're working on this is just throw, especially once you start getting a roof on, throw a few torches down just to make sure that the area around here, especially that is now not blocked, not open to the sun, is going to get enough light to be able to not spawn monsters. And now we head out into the ocean in search of a missing ingredient. That's right, we have to make a fireplace for the back of our house, and we need to come out and look for clay, which you can often find in riverbeds. If you smelt the clay, it turns into bricks. If you take 4 bricks, they make a brick block. And we're going to be using these brick blocks in various shapes to make a fireplace. Now we're going to do a little trick with our moss block. We're going to put it in the middle of the dirt. We're going to turn this bone into bone meal in the crafting grid. We're going to right-click the bone meal on the moss, and it will magically turn a lot of these blocks to moss and various plants. This plant, though, if we will bone meal this, will become an azalea tree. And if we get some shears, we can collect all the leaves from this, which make wonderful decoration leaves. They have a nice color, and the flowery ones look nice as well. We'll put these up on the flower pots outside the top window. In fact, I'm going to change some of these in the middle to moss blocks, specifically so that I can plant flowers on them. That looks nice. We're going to get some more brick. We're going to be putting some hay bales down here underneath a couple campfires. Hay bales will make the smoke rise all the way past the top of our house, and we will eventually, after smelting all this, finish our chimney up there. Let's add a little decoration to our mantle. We've got our friend up there. Tried a birch door, did not love it. Let's try oak. Yeah, I think that has some good vibes. And there it is for now. We have a house. It's not perfect. There's some things I want to fix along the inside and outside of it, but it is time for my ritual where once I feel like I finished the outside of the house, I will go and put my bed down in there, and this will be my new respawn point for as long as I keep it. So let's see. Usually want to put the bed an extra block out from the wall, so maybe I can add a headboard or some shelving behind it. So let's see if I'm able to do that. Oh, nope, I missed on the first one. There we go. Of course, I've got an even numbered window there. So let's put 2 beds down. Give ourselves a little bit of room to lay down there. Got the fireplace. So that's it. There is our house. In a future episode, we're going to handle doing the interior decorations. We'll also be planting a yard and a garden around it to fit in with the theme of our world. But there it goes. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. I am Josh Gets Lost. Look forward to next time. We're going to be heading back to that spider spawner and building a farm down there. Peace.